Hey there guys, so recently Mauricio Sulaiman responded to talks about Dillian Whyte maybe fighting Tyson Fury for the WBC World title. Obviously, Dillian Whyte is mandatory challenger and interim WBC World Champion, will get his shot in February 2021, but still, that is a year after he should have got his shot. So why is Dillian Whyte waiting so long? Well, Mauricio Sulaiman said that Dillian Whyte is mandatory challenger and interim WBC World Champion, and he should focus on being interim champion and being mandatory challenger. That is his status at the moment. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury comes first. So, if that comes first, how does a fight between Dominic Breazeale come before a Dillian Whyte fight when Dillian Whyte was ranked number 1 and Dominic Breazeale was ranked number 4? Even if they're going to give Dominic Breazeale an opportunity to maybe fight for that WBC World Championship, they should do an eliminator between Dillian Whyte and Dominic Breazeale. If they want to do that and make him mandatory, then there should be an eliminator. There's no reason why someone who is ranked number 4 should be mandated to fight the champion. That's just ridiculous. And as I said, if they do want to do that, then there should be an eliminator between the number 1 and number 4. I mean, it would be number 2 normally, so I don't even know what they are doing. Because what they do when they are looking for their mandatory, if they do not have a mandatory challenger, they will go down through their rankings. Number 1, if they don't want it, they'll go number 2. If number 2 doesn't want it, they'll go number 3, and so on. So ultimately, why does number 4 get the opportunity to be mandatory when number 1 is there waiting for over a year at that point to have his shot? They give it to number 4 instead. And the same thing with Tyson Fury. And obviously Tyson Fury was not mandatory for the WBC belt. He was sanctioned to fight Deontay Wilder in a rematch though after 2018 December 1, when Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury drew in their first fight. That fight was mandated to happen again. They had to have a rematch. The WBC recognized Tyson Fury as their number 1 challenger or mandatory challenger. So they gave Tyson Fury the opportunity to fight again. He turned it down. So why not at that point give Dillian Whyte the opportunity? Tyson Fury has just said, no, I'm going to wait, I'm going to go a different route, have 2 fights, then come back and fight Deontay Wilder. Why did they not give Dillian Whyte the opportunity? Because obviously Deontay Wilder had a voluntary defense against Tyson Fury, so they could have called him mandatory. They could have said that, okay, Dillian Whyte gets his shot. Tyson Fury was obviously offered the rematch with Deontay Wilder immediately because of the draw. So they gave Tyson Fury that opportunity, but he turned it down. So in that instance, what they should do, the right thing to do, is to go to their mandatory or number 1 challenger, Dillian Whyte, and give him the opportunity because Deontay Wilder has just had a voluntary defense. So they are well within their rights to call their mandatory and say that Deontay Wilder must fight Dillian Whyte next, but they didn't do it. And obviously Tyson Fury has just won the WBC World title, so he is entitled to a voluntary, which will be Deontay Wilder. Then obviously he's going to ask for an exception so he can fight Anthony Joshua. But the only thing with that is Anthony Joshua has to fight Kubrat Pulev, which will likely happen around the same time as Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 3. So then Anthony Joshua has to fight his WBO mandatory, Alexander Usyk. So Anthony Joshua is 2 fights away from fighting Tyson Fury anyway. And so is Tyson Fury because he must fight Deontay Wilder next, then he must fight Dillian Whyte, his mandatory, next year. So even if Tyson Fury asks for an exception to not fight his mandatory and make a unification fight, is Anthony Joshua going to be free in order to take that fight? No, he's not, because he's going to be fighting his WBO mandatory, Alexander Usyk. So this fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua won't happen until the back end of next year, meaning that Dillian Whyte can finally have his opportunity. But still, you can understand Dillian Whyte's frustration. Does he believe he is even going to get his shot? I don't believe he does. I don't believe that the WBC even want to give him a shot, because if they did, they would have done it by now. They have had plenty of opportunities. Dillian Whyte has been number 1 for over 2 years now. So why hasn't he had his opportunity? In fact, at the moment, he's not even number 1, because at the moment he is WBC interim world champion and he is mandatory as well. So he's not even ranked number 1 at the moment. So the WBC will find some way to wriggle out of it again. I don't know why they don't want Dillian Whyte fighting for their title. Dillian Whyte won't just take that belt and defend it against nobodies. He will fight the best. That is who Dillian Whyte is. And isn't that what the WBC want? And obviously, if he fights Tyson Fury, that's going to be a tough fight for Dillian Whyte. But he wants to fight nonetheless because, as I said, he fights the best. So it's time for the WBC and Mauricio Sulaiman to start showing Dillian Whyte a little bit more respect. Show him the respect he has shown them. Because Dillian Whyte has been nothing but loyal to the WBC, paying their sanctioning fees, and they have not reciprocated that at all. It's time for the WBC and Mauricio Sulaiman to start respecting Dillian Whyte and give him his shot. Dillian Whyte has waited long enough, had enough WBC sanctioned fights where he has paid sanctioning fees in order to get to where he is now. Give him his opportunity. I think, to be honest, the best way to get Dillian Whyte his shot is to put pressure on Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBC in order to make them do that. So let's head over to Twitter and tell Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBC that we want Dillian Whyte to have his opportunity as soon as possible. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Dillian Whyte erupts on Mauricio Sulaiman, says that he cannot believe he has still not had his opportunity, and I believe we can all understand and share Dillian Whyte's frustration. Anyway, guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click your thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.